Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 2 of our Williams Road to Glory Season 2 here at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live last week, I would highly recommend heading back and checking it out. It'll be linked somewhere in the top corner of the top right hand corner of your screen. I think it's over there, but I could be very wrong. But of course today though, yeah, back for round 2 of the year. First race, we learned a lot about the car, we learned a lot about the team. We've had a few more upgrades rolling in as we head in towards the European leg of the campaign. You can see at the moment, we're pretty much on par with Aston Martin and Alpine there. In terms, though, of the championship, of course, Lewis Hamilton took home the dub at the first race weekend of the year there. Max Verstappen in P2 ahead of Gasly in P3. They're a fantastic day out for AlphaTauri with Bottas and Perez rounding out the top 5. We did take home a point, though, from the first race of the year, which means Williams are currently sat in P6 in the championship as well there. Fingers crossed we can maintain that momentum early on in the year. Imola has been a track before where I've been rather fast. Of course, George Russell almost did quite well here in real life last season as well. The less said about that, the better. But yeah, massive thank you as well, obviously, to all of you guys for the continued support. We're now closing in on 36,000 subscribers. If you could help us get one step closer, it would be massively appreciated. We're aiming for 50k by the end of 2022. But yeah, let's dive in then here to Imola. Right, well here we are then back at Imola, ready for round 2 of the year, and I must admit it's very weird to come to this track in a car that isn't a basically maxed out 2-2 Motorsport challenger. The Williams, yeah, you've got to be a lot less brave into quite a lot of the corners around here. You know, in the 2-2 car it might be a flick down one gear, and this thing is a flick down a couple, and you just can't attack with the same sort of commitment. But we managed to hook up a pretty good lap at Bahrain. Fingers crossed we can do the same here. There is immediately you can just see how less responsive it is over those curbs. But yeah, fingers crossed though we can try and get a good lap in once more. Sweat mode though I think is probably going to become a stable thing on this series. But yeah, I like Imola though. It's a really good fun track and so rewarding when you do get it hooked up there as we go nicely all over the curbs in towards one of the hardest corners of the lap through Acqua Minerale. Actually done pretty well there. So we'll take that up in towards the final chicane. Obviously attack the curbs through here, both on entry and on exit. Oh, running a little bit wide there, but we get away with it. FIA allowing you to be a little bit flexible over that exit curb. Max Verstappen does a 13.2 for a first lap. Down in towards the final corner. Oh, a bit of a lock up there. That's going to force us deep. And then through the final 90-degree left-hander there. Get all over the curbing. Shortest run back up towards the line. Activate the DRS. And that's going to be a 15.0. Puts us between the Alpines, though, which is better than I thought. As it would turn out, it would just be Yuki Tsunoda, who did a pretty bad first lap. Let's then go out for another one. 7.5 minutes left on the clock. Of course, this is just one qualifying session still in the Williams Road to Glory. Some of you guys have asked me to change it. I might do for Season 3, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, let's just see now if we can try and get a good lap hooked up, as we've already got an Aston Martin come out of the pit lane just in front of me. Fingers crossed they won't hold us up too much. George Russell, I think, went about half a second quicker than me on the first run, so that's a pretty good benchmark we should be aiming for, as it is Seb who's come out of the pits. Is he moving out of the way? Doesn't look like so just yet. It's been a horrible run through the chicane there, and yeah, Sebastian Vettel is not getting out of the way for me, which is what we hate to see. Still 3/10 up there. Well, we've easily lost a good sort of 3-4 tenths stuck behind the Aston Martin there as we head through the final corner down towards the line. We are going to find a couple of tenths again because of that mistake, but half second improvement puts us P12, pretty much on par with Russell, but there's definitely a low 14 in the car. We could be looking towards Gasly there, as I can't quite get close enough to Seb to maybe just slightly impede his lap. Right, getting ready to start our final lap then. Tsunoda is still finding time, so he's pushed us back down into P13 here. But, like I said, there's definitely a bit more time left on the clock. So if we could get towards that time that Pierre Gasly's done, I'd be rather happy with that. But yeah, we need to be full on committed on this lap. I've tried to find myself some clear track space. Fingers crossed it's going to be for good. Mistake to Aqua Minerale, but in towards the chicane we come. That's where we lost a lot of time last lap. Not the best run on the exit there. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit of the corner there means we haven't quite found the time I would have wanted. Russell has dipped now down into a 14.2. Just running a little bit deep on the entry. Didn't want to scrub the fronts there, so we've compromised our exit down towards the line. It's only going to be a 14.6 there, and that's going to be P15 on the grid. 1 for 1 now with George Russell in qualifying. Mr. Saturday is back.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Perez, Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Well, there we go then. Red Bull this weekend, 1 and 2 once again. There's Sergio Perez taking pole position for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. They're Bottas ahead of Hamilton, so it really is the day for the number 2 drivers there. Ricciardo ahead of Lando. Dare I say Leclerc ahead of Sainz as the number 2? No, we won't get into that controversy just yet there. But you can see roughly then, top 9 all seem to be in a bit of a bracket. And then there's a drop-off to Kimi Raikkonen in 10th place there. And then quite a few of us very, very tightly bunched. So fingers crossed we're going to have some good pace today. Both Williams ahead of Sir Lancelot there. Let's dive in here to the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. I've partnered up with the F1 store for 2022. The best place to buy Formula 1 merchandise. Currently, they have an incredible end-of-year sale on with plenty of 2021 lines available at up to 40% off, with official merch available from every Formula 1 team. If you're interested, click the link at the top of the description or in the pinned comment down below to help support the channel.
Welcome once again to the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari. The clue's in the name. This is very much Ferrari home turf, and the locals will be out in force today to support their team in what we hope will be a magnificent spectacle of motorsport. On then to the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. A lap of Imola, anti-clockwise of course, unlike most of the Formula 1 circuits, will take our drivers around 3.1 miles of track. 19 turns, 9 right-handers and 10 left. Drivers will need to be precise at the hairpin at turn 7, given the subsequent uphill section. Without a good exit from that corner, they'll lose a lot of time on that stretch. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. Let me ask you about Aston Martin. We have a number of changes to the aerodynamic regulations this year, and the signs haven't looked good for them so far in terms of getting to grips with those changes.
It doesn't look promising for them so far. And if the new regs have hit them as hard as we think, well, I suspect they may need a few late nights at the factory to get back on track.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. It's Sergio Perez on pole position today, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Hamilton, Charles Leclerc and Ricciardo, Sainz, Gasly, Norris and Kimi Raikkonen, Ocon, Tsunoda, George Russell, Mr. Monaco, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. Latifi and Sebastian Vettel starts from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Right, well here we are then on the grid, ready for round 2 of the year here from the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Up 1 position by virtue of Sebastian's grid penalty, but looks like, a bit like the My Team race we did at the French Grand Prix just a couple of days ago, we could see some changeable weather in this one, so that might make things rather interesting. I don't really want to use the hard compounded tyres here. So I think if we can stretch the mediums to maybe lap 18, lap 19, then we could be within a shot of trying to do medium softs. Just the hard tyres really don't work around this circuit. Going to still overfuel the car slightly here. But of course we might get some rain. We might get some intermediate conditions later on in the race. But ready then on the grid, counting down to those 5 red lights. Look like some change strategies. And it is going to be lights out and away we go. And again, was never going to get the best start on the medium compound there. Stroll and Giovinazzi straight past me as we head down in towards the Tamburello chicane for the first time. Oh, Mazepin. Oh, we're getting sandwiched by the Alfa Romeos. There's contact between Lando Norris and the Alpines, as I think that was Ocon losing part of his front wing there. And we might be able to come back at the Canadian. Oh, big movement. Of course, sim damage in the Williams road to glory, whether it's brave or just stupid on my half there. But again, you can just see everyone jockeying for positions here. So difficult to make overtakes around this circuit. We've got a VSC.
Car has just been deployed due to a buildup of debris on the track.
Why is Giovinazzi just overtaking me under VSC? I mean, I know full well if we try and take it back, we're going to get a penalty. Yep, we've got to return to correct position. Not sure about that one, F1, but a VSC on the opening lap then of this Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Of course, I think, yeah, just a little bit of carnage and contact from quite a few cars there. A bit of debris in Sector 1. As you can already see, one of the McLarens just up the road there. Big train of cars. What's that for, about P6 downwards? Looks like both Red Bulls, both Mercs and a Ferrari, I'm guessing of sights, have snuck through at the front. And they've got a bit of a gap there, but when are we going to see green flag racing once more then? Has the... I'm guessing that's Ricciardo. Has he got damage then? We're all a bit under on the Delta. Yeah, so quite a few cars into the pits. Then 2 at the end of the first lap there. That is, yeah, 1 Ricciardo. And I'm guessing Sonoda. No, it was an Alpha Tauri. That must be Kimi Räikkönen then, I'm guessing. As well as a Haas car.
Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag. VSC ending. Wait for green.
VSC coming to an end though rather soon. Can we try and jump Giovinazzi there? Who has picked up some minor front wing damage just on the end plate there we saw. But yeah, now we've got to try and get their heat into the tyres again as Lance Stroll trying to look for a move once more. But Russell, yeah, up into the points then at the start of this race. So that's what we love to see. Let's try and put our head down then and see if we can focus. Ocon is definitely struggling as well to turn his mediums on as Giovinazzi now applying the pressure. Well, the car's trading fastest laps up and down the order, but are we going to see Gio now get a run? Almost put into the pit wall there was homeboy Antonio Giovinazzi. Is he going to be able to make the move work though through turn 1 and turn 2? Oh, we're just left with nowhere to go as we try to capitalise. And look at that now, we have got the run on Italian Jesus in towards the next couple of corners, all over the curbing. But just nowhere to go on the exit, still not enough grip in the rubber there, and despite all of that, we all end up still exactly where we started, as you can just see, George Russell in P10 bolting away at the moment. Right, are we about to see Giovinazzi versus Ocon Part 2, or are we going to be able to put our sort of car into the mix as we head out of the final corner? No idea how I forgot what a car was then, but look at that Gio already getting a really good run on Esteban Ocon here, and the Alpine is just a sitting duck as we head back down towards Selmon. We're going to go down the middle though, in towards the first corner. Giovinazzi attacks the curbs there. We have to launch it through turn 2. Oh, Giovinazzi's hit us. He's in the gravel. Nothing we could do in that one. Apologies for the awful commentary, but we have made the move work in the end there, but a little bit of damage is not going to help us out, as that's going to make this race maybe a rather long one.
Side pods have taken damage. You may start to pick up a little drag.
Right, okay, let's just focus still.
Okay,
this
clear.
is not the end of the world. 5 seconds to Yuki Tsunoda up the road though, and George Russell is pulling away from the Alpine driver. We just need to keep our head down and focus, as now we've got Sebastian Vettel trying to apply some pressure. But yeah, these side pods, oh, it's only when the back end snaps on you it feels a little bit uncomfortable there, as someone else has gone round. Is that Giovinazzi again? No, that's Mazepin, who's had an issue through the first couple of corners. Rather predictably, I suppose.
No rain expected. No rain expected for the time being. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Right, well there we go then. Team not reckoning it's going to rain. As, yeah, we're not really in a battle with Seb at the moment. If we can hang on to some DRS, that would be nice. But yeah, no real point in holding the Aston Martin up. And with a bit of luck, maybe he can try and drag me towards the cars in front. But yeah, I've got to be careful here. Just got to try and work out, yeah, exactly what the car's behaving like. But these mediums are not fun.
Taking a few scrapes. Try not to make it any worse.
That is always the aim, Jeff, but no guarantees. Giovinazzi and Esteban Ocon wanted to play bumper cars early on. Crossing over 1/4 race distance then, Sebastian Vettel is just slowly pulling away from me, but the gap to Tsunoda is pretty much level to where it was just a few laps ago, so we're not losing any pace to the Alpine there. George Russell still nestled up in 9th place, but strategy is going to be an interesting one today, especially if the rain doesn't come. You know, we should be very, very quick later on in the race. Pretty much everyone will be on hard tyres there, and of course we'll be on softs, as if we want to be able to battle anyone later on, we can't be doing that too often. Oh, Kimi Räikkönen into the pit lane there, as well as one of the Mercedes. Is he going to be both fins in? Yes, it is.
Rain in 10 minutes, okay.
Oh!
Is 8.0 seconds.
So rain then is not going to be too far away, as we're just starting to drop back slightly from the cars in front. But yeah, oh, steady on, steady on. Easy does it. If we can make it to the wet period, though, that could really leapfrog us up the order. Because, I mean, at the moment, we're 2 seconds ahead of Bottas. And theoretically, neither of us would have to pit again before the wets. Theoretically, that is. Oh, here comes Valtteri Bottas, though, again. We're not fighting him. Up into the top 10, though, we go. There's a few more cars into the pits, but look how fast that Mercedes is. One day we'll battle you a little bit more, Valtteri Bottas. We go. One more lap. George Russell in.
For his stop.
He's not done too badly on that set of tyres there. There's still a Red Bull out with the front of the field. There was Bottas' new fast lap of the Grand Prix. I think he's jumped the Merc of Hamilton as well as Verstappen there. So Bottas doing the undercut is going to be clean out in front of these guys. We're going to come out right between Hamilton and Max Verstappen, which is not somewhere I really wanted to be at this stage of the race. As we just drop the back end slightly on the exit the first couple of corners. But yeah, like I keep saying, not really in a battle with these guys, but you know, we're trying to play the long game here as well. Hamilton looks to the outside. Is he about to mug me off? Come on, put the power down. Hamilton, you can't look for it down in towards Aqua Minerale, man. That would be absolute chaos. But yeah, look at the run Hamilton's now got up in towards the chicane. Side by side on the way in. And surely, yeah, we're just going to have to back out of that one. Can't even get the run on the exit, as these tyres are not in perfect condition, but not doing too badly at the moment. Got Sir Lancelot now, always a man that can go quite far on a set of rubber. But out of the final corner, activate the power. Got the DRS once more off another car, which is always nice. We are going to be running pretty well in this race.
14.7 seconds.
I really don't want to get a run on the Hamilton back in towards turn 1, I'll be honest. We'll deactivate the DRS. We'll let Hamilton keep the position. But yeah, I'm in the 7th place now of this race. But Stroll is still out here. How is he doing this? There we go. Lance into the pits at the end of lap 13. But at least we know those tyres can go pretty far.
The best in lap you can.
We've still got a, I think, yeah, must be Kimi as well as obviously Esteban Ocon still out here in this race. So we're not doing badly at the moment, but yeah, definitely I want to see the rain arrive, but it's either got to be before we go on to softs or, you know, after a few laps on the softs. There we go, Sebastian Vettel into the pit, so he's gone even further on that set of soft compound tyres. So we definitely only need to make it to about lap 18. And then that's going to be possible to the end of the race. Now I'm into P6 then of this GP. Oh, and there we go. Tsunoda means that we are, I think, the last car that is yet to pit then in this Grand Prix. Surprised he hasn't tried to go a bit further on those mediums, but he is going on to a set of hard compound tyres to see him through to the end. Pace is sort of coming back to us at the moment a little bit. But then again, I don't really have any benchmarks around me. But yeah, we need to make it to lap 18 then on these tyres, which should easily be doable. But what about the weather?
The side pods have taken damage. You may start to pick up a little drag. Grip
I
is
might
probably
click the wrong button.
due to wear, so don't be too aggressive.
Yeah, I might have been pressed the wrong button there.
5 minutes until rainfall expected. 5 minutes until rain dries.
Oh.
Seem like the best tyre for now.
Do I hang it out there, or do I just come onto a set of softs and then have a massive grip advantage? Tyre wear warning lights just come on, but not going to worry about that yet. Right, we're going to come into the pits then at the end of the next lap, but Lando Norris even, I should say, all over the back of me in his McLaren, and are we going to see another car fly by? Remember, we got the same power unit as that thing, and he is still a rocket ship on the run into T1. We are taking a massive gamble in this Grand Prix pitting now, as we clearly took a massive gamble going through that chicane as well. But if the rain does get really heavy, like we saw at Paul Ricard in my team, we are completely screwed. If it doesn't, and we got a big advantage, we might be completely screwed because the tyre wear will be bad. We just don't know yet, but into the pits we come then here in Imola. Get it slowed down nice and tightly, which we have done. George Russell is still in 9th place at the moment. Our teammate has done fantastically well up to this point in this Grand Prix, but we need to keep our head down and focus. The pace should of course come to us now in the second half of this race. Car's not great in dirty air though, with the side pod damage, but where are we going to re-emerge? I think it's going to be P14 behind Stroll and Ricciardo, as both Aston Martins have done soft medium, so it should be doable then.
We'll be doing one more stop today, one stop left in our strategy.
Teams still don't believe it's possible for us, but yeah, let's just get our head down, hit some laps, hopefully make some moves, and wait and see about this rain. Kimi Räikkönen back in again? Yes, he is.
By 12.4 seconds.
So we went purple through the final sector, up into P13 once more. Thank you very much. Are we going to see the Astons pit again by the end, or are they yet trying to do the soft medium? As that's not how we're going to keep these tyres going. Oh, and there we go. Ferrari into the box as well. So that is Charles Leclerc then, who's clearly been in the wars today, as we again purple through the final sector. No idea why we're so quick through there.
P12.
P12 now. Points not too far away. It's George Russell, who, yeah, sitting very pretty. Oh, there we go. Starting to see the rain. I was just wondering when it might show its face, but there we go. The rain has arrived here at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. 3.5 seconds to the cars in front. We might have a big advantage for a few laps here. It's going to be very, very difficult to keep it on the island, especially with this damage. Oh, even more cars into the pits, however. I think this one's a lap down.
Taken a little damage. Watch out for it.
Oh, so got to be a bit careful now, apparently, the underbody.
Track conditions aren't improving. It's your choice as to whether you want to fit the wets next time you come in.
Oh, there we go then. So team now, and ahhing about a set of intermediates here. But at the moment, I'm pretty happy where we're at, and the pace is pretty good as well. Closing in on Sir Lance, gap down to under 3. Oh, Russell into the pits. No, what's our teammate doing?
George in the pits.
Oh, I think he might have picked up some damage or something, because we're now going to be up into P11 then of the Grand Prix, but not what we wanted for our teammate George Russell. With 9 laps to go, he's been running in the points basically all day, and maybe it has just gone wrong then for our teammate. That's not what we wanted through turn 1 though. Reactions like a cat, if I do say so myself, to keep this thing going the right way. Track is definitely getting worse and worse at the moment. I'm hoping if Russell has pit that he's gone onto a set of inters just for the sake of trying something different and maybe trying to bring himself back into this Grand Prix. But we're closing in on Lance, but losing time to some of the other medium runners, so not really sure what's going on, to be honest. But yeah, Lance Stroll now with us and the points. See if we can get him. As all we got yellow flags out. I think that's one of the Haas cars slowly breaking down. Is it Latifi? Is it Mick?
Okay, even though we're seeing cars struggle in these conditions, if we pit for inters now, we're going to be too slow and we'll burn them out. Make the best of it for the time being.
Okay, so it is Latifi, and it's definitely not time yet for the intermediates, but everyone is struggling on them more and more.
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
Oh, this rain is getting really bad. It's starting to get a little bit tricky then. Here. Oh, and Imola, look at that big kick of oversteer out of the final corner. But we just got to keep our head down and focus, as Gasly now is really getting into his stride late on in this race. Gap now under 1 second to Pierre. 6 laps to go.
Just focus on the driving. The tyre situation is pretty touch and go right now. We think the slicks may still be quicker, but it's very close, and you're going to struggle to keep them in the temperature window. The inters are ready when you need them.
Oh, Gasly tried to have a look at the inside at the top of the hill there, but team now saying that Inters are not a bad choice. We can't afford to pit though at the moment. We can't lose track position here. Or is it just worth the gamble? Is Gasly having a look at the inside? We'll park the bus on the exit of the chicane there and try to put the power down. As a look at that, Nikita Mazepin, I think, trying to unlap himself here of Charles Leclerc. But we're now just starting to drop back from Lance. I think we've got to go for it. We're not going to gain anything by being in P11. We may as well box the end of this one. And into the pits we come then. Here in this race. Get it slowed down. That was a little bit touch and go on the way into the pit lane. But yeah, we've got to try and... We're going to up the front wing slightly by one click as well. But yeah, we've got to be really, really careful late on in this race. Like I'm sort of thinking, we're not going to gain anything by staying out at the moment. So we may as well just gamble it late on in the day. There goes Ocon. Here comes George Russell. So he'll be a good benchmark for us. But are we going to have any sort of advantage? Can we make up a huge deficit inside the final 5.5 laps here? Only one way to find out.
We want to finish the race on this compound. We're no longer sure that these tyres are the right ones. It might be time to come in and change.
Well, I love hearing that message immediately then. We might have just bottled this entirely. Team already saying now, is the rain getting lighter already? I think it is. I think we might have just made an absolute blunder here in the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. I mean, these tyres aren't horrendous, but we're losing a fair bit of time to George Russell there, so I think we might have gambled the wrong way. Unless this rain does get a whole lot worse suddenly. That might be our day basically done and dusted. Oh yeah, these tyres definitely don't have the grip at the moment. Raikkonen going past me like I'm standing still there, and the AI in these sorts of conditions seem to be able to just find so much extra grip than what I'm able to there. I think, yeah, it's just some of their inbuilt traction control and things like that are massively, massively helping them out here. But 4 laps to go here from Imola down in P16. I think, yeah, we took a gamble today. We weren't going to have the pace on the dry tyres, so we may as well have gone for it. But, yeah, I think that's basically our day done and dusted there. 14 seconds back to Giovinazzi, but not even sure it's worth finishing. May as well just try and save the engine on the mileage there. But, yeah, we're nowhere near the points at the moment as Ocon now dropping behind Russell again.
The gap behind is 14.3 seconds.
But, I mean, yeah, we're half a lap away from the points.
13.5 seconds.
Still losing 2 seconds a lap to our teammate, and yeah, I think it might be worth just boxing and saving the engine then with 3 to go. We're not going to score any points. We don't really gain anything by staying out here. I think, yeah, that we might have to call it a day.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
At 30 or 32, Verstappen's now going to fly past me as we head up towards the top of the hill. Looks like he might be able to get some redemption from Bahrain there. Of course, Hamilton and Mercedes absolutely out-strategized Red Bull that weekend, but yeah, it's really odd. This race has basically just been completely designed to go against me, it feels like. Like I said, the AI traction control can be so OP when you're close to a wet track there. And yeah, now team are just saying it's going to get drier and drier by the end. So I'm not really convinced we're much slower than we would have been on intermediates. We're definitely a little bit slower. But yeah, we certainly, unless there had been a massive crash for Lance Stroll, been able to do anything against the Canadian in his Aston Martin there. It looks like he's under some pressure from Daniel Ricciardo, but yeah, we were losing pace to the Aston Martin there, so no way were we going to be able to challenge him towards the end.
10.1 seconds.
But anyway, this therefore is going to be the final lap then of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. You know, I did think about bringing the car in, but you guys like seeing the car make it to the finish line, so we'll try and bring that to you today.
Blue flag, blue
big
flag.
wobble. But yeah, it just felt like all day long we haven't quite quite had the pace there. Sort of lacked pace, lacked a bit of confidence. And you know, once we got that side pod damage, we really just couldn't push the car to the limit, which you absolutely have to here at Imola. But here comes one of the Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton. So it looks like he... Ooh, sorry, Lewis. Yeah, looks like he and Max Verstappen are going to be tied on points after the opening 2 weekends of this 23 race thriller.
Gap and let the car behind through.
But Perez again keeping up with the front 2, which is nice to see a bit more. Bottas was ahead, but I think he accidentally had a bot strategy, was put onto a 2-stop for whatever reason, so he's going to come through in P4. So Perez there just a little bit slow through the chicane. But yeah, it's not the race we would have wanted, but that's the way Formula 1 goes sometimes. We definitely have still learnt a lot about the car, though, this weekend. And we have still got the pace to challenge for the points there. Russell has been the one that's been well and truly robbed today. But round in the final corner then, that's going to do us here from the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Not a race to write home about.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
And that's it then for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And what a sensational victory they've managed to pull off here. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
Well, tyre management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work and they should be proud of the victory they secured here. Let's see how the driver standings have changed. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
I have to say Sebastian Vettel certainly caught my eye during today's race. Incredible driving.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, there we are then, guys. The end of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix here from Imola. And Max Verstappen takes his first race victory of the year. We're definitely in for a Verstappen-Hamilton duel over the course of this year. There, Perez in P3 ahead of Bottas and Lando Norris there. Sainz ahead of Vettel, who, yeah, definitely deserves driver of the day. They're a brilliant one-stop from Aston. Meant he went 20th to 7th there, getting some good points for them. Ricciardo in 8th on the 2-stop ahead of Tsunoda and Charles Leclerc. And you can see further down the order, yeah, Russell 13th to 13th. We went 14th to 16th there. Not quite the race we would have wanted. Not often do we finish a lap down on F1 2021. But yeah, like I said, I think today, you know, after the points last week, Coders, I think we're just out to screw us on this one there. Though, like we said, Hamilton and Verstappen tied at the top. Bottas now 1 point ahead of Sergio Perez there, 26 to 25. With Gasly still ahead of Norris and Carlos Sainz. Daniel Ricciardo, Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen round out the top 10 there. You can see Tsunoda with 2 points. Leclerc now with his first point of the year means we're still tied with him. And yeah, just Lance Stroll, George Russell there, Esteban Ocon, both Haas and Alphas are yet to score. Constructors-wise, though, that bumps us all the way down to 8th place at the moment. I'm hoping over the course of the year we can keep up with Alpine and Aston Martin there. Ferrari's still down in 5th. AlphaTauri get jumped by McLaren. And yeah, 1 point between Mercedes and Red Bull after the first 2 weekends. It's going to be a very interesting season. But thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like. Get yourself subscribed as well. And yeah, we'll be back very soon. With round 3 of the year, we head to Portimao. You guys do not want to miss that. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members. So a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below. And yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.